Tiffany Henyard. I met her through Jason House. You know Jason.
I know Jason. Yeah.
So Jason came to me. Me and Jason have always been, close. That's like my brother. All of y'all are like my brothers.
Yeah.
So Jason approached me and asked me if I can help him with his campaign because he was running for senior trustee for Dolton. So I was like, oh, okay, that's awesome. Of course I will help him. And then he was like, well, we have Tiffany Henyard that's running for mayor, and she's on the ticket with me. He was like, so would you help us both, while we both campaign? And I was like, well, yeah, that's fine. So I agreed to help them. At this time, I was working remote from home. Once COVID hit, they never made us go back and transition into the office. So I was able to still work remote every day. But I had flexibility because I was HR.
Okay.
Now, with Tiffany Henyard and Jason, I was working, helping them. Jason told her about my qualifications and my skill sets. So she came to me with Jason and asked me, do I want to be her HR director? And I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome. I would love that job. And she was like, she liked what I'm doing, and she liked my volunteer work and how I'm doing things. And plus, I'm a resident, and I have my master's degree in human resource. And that would just look good that they would hire somebody that's actually in the community. So I was like, okay, that's great. It was a pay drop for me.
Okay.
Let me start there. But
Okay.
with commute and tolls and other stuff and lunch, I was like, I can do that because I'll be closer to home. I can pick my kids up. I'm just thinking about all of the positives that I saw coming with this role. I mostly did a lot of phone calls for them. I had my sister, Monique, volunteering with me. We called so many people for them. We went to like all of the events that they had.
Okay.
When she did the inauguration, well, let me go back to the polls. So
Sure.
the way Tiffany Henyard really got into office is because she was campaigning right after COVID hit. Remember, after COVID ended.
Right.
So around that time, Raleigh Rogers had a stroke.
And we're talking late 2020 at that point, or mid
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 2020 because she won in 2021, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she
Okay.
won in 2021. So around that time, Raleigh Rogers had a stroke. It was very hushed. They didn't want too many people to know, but of course we knew. She was running against Ronnie Burgess, which that's the one that she's trying to appoint as her police chief. And then it was her. So those were the
Okay.
only three candidates that we had. So
Okay.
of course I'm on Tiffany's ticket. So I'm looking at her, I'm looking at the ambition that she has. She was very energetic all the time. Like everybody that worked for her, that's true. She always have energy. She's always on the go. She talk fast. So, I deal with West Side people. So
Right.
at this time, let me just throw this out here for your viewers to know. I
Yes.
had a brain tumor. The tumor was 80% of my brain. I did not know that. And with the tumor, it was causing me like a personality change, kind of sort of, where I was being very nice and
Okay.
like listening to people and letting people manipulate me. So when I'm listening to Tiffany, I know she a fast talker. I know she from the West Side. Normally, I'm up on game. I'm
Mm-hmm.
from Inglewood, so and I spent a
Right.
lot of time on the West Side, so I know game. But me, I'm just letting her talk, whatever. So get to the polls. I'm sitting with Ronnie Burge at the polls.
Okay.
That's her opponent, the one that she's trying to make the police chief now.
That's the person. That's the person. Just for clarity, that's the person she's trying to appoint now
Right.
after the police
That's
chief.
from Dixmoor. Yeah,
Okay.
because he
And
was
that
the police. He got fired from Dixmoor, I believe.
got you.
Him or his
Okay.
son, but he's not
And that's
even.
after they arrested the current, or not the current, but the police chief that was in. I forgot his name, but they arrested him. The feds got him now,
I
right?
believe so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I know Ronnie Burge is inactive, so he can't even be a police chief right now anyway. And
Mm.
back to the campaign.
Okay.
So I sat next to him at the polls, and it was me, him, and Jason's father. And we had a lot of conversation just about what he would provide to Dolton versus what Tiffany would provide to Dolton. Now, of course, we know what Tiffany's promising, but when he's talking to other people, of course, we're listening. So, I'm asking him like, well, who sent you? Because it all sounds like somebody sent him there to rob us.
Ronnie.
Do
To my
you
Ronnie.
understand what I'm saying? Yes, not Riley. I'm talking about Burgess.
Right. Burgess.
Burgess
Yeah.
wasn't even from Dolton originally anyway.
Right.
You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? And
Yeah.
everything he was saying to the people, it just sounded like he was just trying to basically get into office so he can rob us. So we fast forward. I always said he was a plant. When we
Mm.
was there, I always said somebody sent him to Dolton to try and infiltrate Dolton. And of course, we working hard for Tiffany because Tiffany, 8 years as a trustee, was the best trustee ever because she
Right.
shut down all of the corruption.
That's what I
So,
saw. Yeah, when I won't go back and I look at her as a trustee, it
mhm.
seems like she was. It's interesting because she was the trustee who is fighting for things, and now she's fighting against trustees who are trying to stop her from doing the exact thing that she was.
Say that again because I hope she watched this video and understand that what she's doing now makes zero sense. Because 8 years as a trustee, you're on video for 8 years.
Yeah,
You have so many clips and so many reels of you doing the right thing for the residents as a trustee.
yeah,
But then we have so many videos and so many reels of her doing the wrong thing as the mayor. But you know right from wrong. So Tiffany wins. No, let's rewind.
hmm
So well, yeah, she won. She won at the polls. So I am
Now,
still.
Viv, just on that point, real quick, because I
Uh-huh.
want to understand when she won initially, because I know there was a recount. That's from what I understand.
Yeah,
So when she won, did she actually win the majority of the votes in Dalton, or people just didn't show up to vote?
people did not show up to vote, and even people that showed up to vote didn't vote for her as much as they voted for Jason House. If that makes sense.
That's that's what I no, that's exactly what I understood when I
Yeah.
looked into it. That she actually had less numbers than Jason House because she always talks
So
about how.
if Jason would have ran for mayor, Jason
Mhm,
would have won.
right.
Because he had the more popular vote than her. She just had enough because it was her, Ronnie, and Riley. So she
Okay.
had enough votes. That's why she claimed she won by 82%.
That's
When
what I hear. What is this 82% of the vote?
82% is just an inflated number, meaning that only a certain amount of residents came out to vote and they had a three-way split. So you had 82% of that three-way split, which is like just a certain amount of number more votes. So
Okay.
she did win by a certain a certain amount of number more of votes, but it's not like 82% of the residents came out and voted for her. Come on.
Right, because they make it seem like she touts that number a lot. I've seen her say, well, who won 82% of the vote? And
Because it's
Dalton,
verifiable. That's one of the things that she can actually verify that she did win 82%, but it's
but
not
the context ain't there though. But
exactly.
the
You get
context ain't there because now Dalton, for people who
it.
understand, Dalton, if I have the numbers right, is about 20,000 people roughly,
About
right?
21,000. That's what the last estimate was.
So
But
twenty one
people
thousand.
are leaving Dalton like crazy. But yeah, we'll say
But
20.
of the 21,000, let's just say it's 20,000 rounded off.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of the 20,000, this is during COVID. So how much do they know how many people voted?
1,500 votes, I believe.
How many?
I think she had like 1,500 votes.
So most of the people didn't vote
No, absolutely not. They
of
didn't come
20,000.
out to vote. No.
Because you got to figure if it's 20,000 people, the voting age group of the 20,000, it got to be at least half, right?
You got to realize that most people rent. Renters don't care about property and property taxes. So renters are not vested in the community. So since they're not vested in the community, they don't care about going to cast their vote. But when things are going wrong in the community, that's when they complain and want to gripe. However, you guys never go out and vote and you never exercise your right to vote. So you kind of deserve the corruption that we're getting.
Mm,
However, us residents that have been fighting hard, we go out and vote and we try and make sure that we can make change. So
hmm.
therefore, of this next election, we definitely go on Clean House 2025.
Yes.
However, people have to get out and vote. But no, she didn't get that many votes. She
No,
just it's inflated because of the voter turnout was low.
it sounds good. And I think people who aren't part of the community, when they hear that, they say, well, if 82% of y'all voted for her, then how could y'all be complaining? Because they're thinking that it's 82% of 20,000.
Absolutely, and it's not.
Which is,
It's probably not even 20,000 people in Dolton anymore. If they do a new census, I think that number would be different. But
I'm sure have been people leaving now.